Hi again, everyone. It's Derek Vaughn with South Pasadena Homes, and today we're going to take a look at the pros and the cons of South Pasadena. I have lived here for 25 years. I think I know a little bit about what's great about this town, so I'm going to tell you some of the highlights and some other things that perhaps are less desirable. And if that's of interest to you, then stick around. Let's go. Of course, we're going to start with the pros, and number one is going to have to be the South Pasadena schools. The schools here are a big draw for everyone. They are ranked in the top tier of California's public schools. They have amazing academics, extracurricular activities, there's band, there's sports, there's outside interests that students can have in addition to the great academics. And the facilities and the faculty are top tier as well. I've got a link that I'll put in the description to a full video of South Pasadena schools if you want to see that as well. Now, being a small town, South Pasadena is only 3 square miles geographically, and the police and the fire department are located directly in the center of town, and that helps keep South Pasadena safe, relatively safe for LA. It's still Los Angeles, so of course I lock my car and I lock the door to my house at night. But if you call the police or the fire department from anywhere in South Pasadena, they will be here in minutes, literally minutes. So that's a great upside. We also have our own local government. So anything having to do with taxation or improvements, the roads, the community, everything is handled right here in South Pasadena, and that's a big plus. Some of the great activities you can do here in South Pasadena are outdoor activities. You've got tennis and pickleball courts. You've got athletic facilities at the high school, basketball courts, an outdoor pool, a track, all of these that the public can use. There are fantastic parks. There's Garfield Park. I was just over by Eddy Park today. There's parks down in the Arroyo. These have athletic fields for AYSO soccer and Little League fields. So all kind of great park activities here in town as well. There are also community events at the parks. They have free movie night at the park in the summer, which is super fun. There are also free concerts in the park, Shakespeare in the park. Shakespeare's not really my thing, but I've been to that. And it's fantastic because you just come and bring a blanket, you sit down and you watch the activity. People bring their dogs sometimes, and it's just a fun way to just interact with the community. Other local community events here in South Pasadena include our small town 4th of July parade. It's a lot of fun. We have our own fireworks over at the high school every 4th of July. There are also art crawls every quarter. Those are organized by the South Pasadena Arts Council, SPARC. You've also got the Taste of South Pasadena, which is a fantastic event where restaurants come out and you get an armband. I think it's $20 for the whole thing. And all the restaurants in town come out and they have a little sampler menu, and you just walk up and down the center of town and you can try all the delicacies from the various restaurants. Super fun. One of the bigger community events here in South Pasadena is the Eclectic Music Festival. And that is a fun day where there are literally dozens of stages and performing areas set up in South Pasadena for local bands and musicians to play. There are small stages, big stages, everything from pop, rock, classical, jazz, you name it, it happens here. And it runs all day, all throughout the town, and then on into the night when there's a bigger concert in the evening. There's also a farmer's market here in South Pasadena every Thursday, right up at the corner of Meridian and El Centro. And all the farmers come and they bring local produce straight from the farm to the table. The prices are generally pretty good. There's also pre-prepared food up there. There's always music. There's always a lot going on, a lot of people milling around. It's super fun. It's just, again, another way to connect with neighbors in a low-key environment. Another great facet of South Pasadena is that it is incredibly walkable. Right here in the flat part of South Pasadena where I live, it is easy to walk to shops, to restaurants, to Trader Joe's. And there are just so many shops and restaurants, and the city is adding them all the time. There's a new development that's going to open in a few weeks. It's the former school administration building. It's right in the center of town. And I saw where it's completely leased out. There's going to be a few restaurants, maybe an entertainment venue there. So that will be opening soon. And it's just another example of how vibrant the community is here and how fun it is to walk around and, you know, just hang out and have fun and go to restaurants. There are so many restaurants here in town. I can't mention them all by name. That will most likely be another video, but there's something for everyone. Here's a few other quick pros about South Pasadena. It is a historic city, and it retains much of its character from the early 1900s. There is legislation in place to preserve these properties, and there's a strong motivation in the community. And certainly as a realtor, that's a big draw. People love the quality, the build quality, the genuineness of the architecture, and the materials that were used back then. I mean, you literally can't get lumber like that anymore. So being historic is super cool. And it's not just the homes and the residences. There are many historic buildings here in town. For example, the Rialto Theater, which again was built in the early 1900s, and the city tries to preserve all of them. Okay, and then there are the trees. I am talking about large, mature trees, been here forever, thriving, look wonderful when you drive down the majority of the streets here. I read recently that South Pasadena maintains an estimated 21,000 trees, and it's known as a Tree City, USA. And South Pasadena has been part of Tree City, USA for over 25 years by meeting that program's strict requirements. The other pro is that there are so many things close by South Pasadena to see and do. We have a metro rail here in town, so you can easily get to other areas of Los Angeles. An example of that would be sports, right? If you're a sports fan, the Dodgers are just a few miles from here, Dodger Stadium. And then you've got the Lakers, the Rams playing at SoFi, that beautiful new facility. And all of those are quite accessible from here. And I'm a big fan of sports, so it's just another big bonus of living here. Oh, so I was going to show you, last season, my wife and I were invited to go to a Dodgers game. And that evening, it was towards the end of the season, Shohei Ohtani hit his 52nd home run of the season. And my wife and I just happened to have our phones out because it's Ohtani, right? And we're shooting it, so I'm gonna drop in this video that has my camera on one side and my wife's camera on the other side when Ohtani hit his 52nd home run. It's a pretty special moment. Another pro, I thought I would mention this. I used to work at the Walt Disney Company, and Disneyland is pretty close to here. It's a short drive, and I think everyone's familiar with Disneyland, but I'm a fan. It's a great place to take out-of-town visitors, and they say it's the happiest place on earth. It's pretty fun to hang out at Disneyland Park. Another great pro of South Pasadena is the Tournament of Roses parade and football game, which are literally right next to South Pasadena. And every New Year's, There's some friends of ours that have a party, and you sit out on their porch as the floats drive in just past midnight, and they come up, let's see, Columbia, and then they turn on Orange Grove and queue up in order so that they're ready for the Rose Parade. It's a fantastic event. I used to take my kids there every single year. I've been there dozens of times since I lived here. And what else is cool is that South Pasadena has its own float, which is completely a community sponsored and community worked on float. So right down by Oak Lawn Avenue, by the bridge, there is an area where the float is. It lives there all year. And then towards the end of the year, more activity starts happening. Tons of flowers get dropped off. I used to go there every year, help cut flowers, stick them on the float. And then, of course, you have the pride of watching the South Pasadena float in the parade. Although South Pasadena is not a beach city, it is relatively beach close. So within driving distance, I think the closest beach would be, say, Manhattan Beach, which is about 26 miles away. But there are, up and down the coast, so many fantastic beaches. I go to Dana Point, Salt Creek a lot, Laguna, wonderful. And just a few weeks ago, we were in La Jolla down in San Diego. Those are all very accessible from South Pasadena with the car. And the beach is just such a great combination of getting away from it all, being in nature, seeing the waves, seeing the people relaxing. I just love the beaches here. And the other nice thing is they're not commercialized like some other areas. So literally all of the beach is public property here. Okay, let's talk about the cons. And there are a few. The first one, generally in LA, but also in South Pasadena, is the traffic. Waiting on the ridiculously too much South Pasadena traffic at the corner of Meridian and Monterey. For a small town, it's just really crowded right here. And it's our turn. Okay, we're gonna cruise down Diamond. Here's the street you want to cruise down. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. There is traffic here. So if you have to get across town, when my daughter was a student at UCLA, I would have to drive all the way across town from here all the way over to Westwood. If you go during rush hour, it's stop and go traffic the entire way. And even here in South Pasadena, there are a couple things that'll slow you down. The most notable would be that there are a lot of film shoots here in town, TV shows, commercials, films, and some of those can be quite large, and they'll block off streets or redirect traffic, or people will just looky-loo as they're going past a movie shoot. So yeah, traffic is a thing here. Another con would be that water tends to be expensive here. And it is quite dry. It is a desert, technically, and everything that grows needs to be watered. So you can use a lot of water if you have a lot of plants in your yard, and that can tend to be expensive here in South Pass. And of course, you pay a premium for the real estate here in terms of the school, the weather, the location, the type of community. It's not for everyone. Everyone cannot afford to live here, unfortunately. I wish everyone could. I wish there was room for everyone to live here. Overall, I would say that the pros outweigh the cons dramatically in this amazing city. I've raised my family here, and I wouldn't switch places with anyone in any city in the world. It's really remarkable and just so great, and I feel so blessed to be able to live here in South Pasadena. So that's been a look at the pros and cons of the city of South Pasadena. If you're interested in learning more about living here, you want to check out properties, you just want to know generally what the prices are, reach out anytime. I'll be glad to share my knowledge with you. If you do come to visit, we'll be glad to see you. You're always welcome here. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.